If you're a HubSpot user and you've wanted to have some more powerful reporting or just customization to be able to modify and manipulate the data in your HubSpot in something like Google Sheets, I want to show you in this video how you can extract data from HubSpot to Google Sheets, sync it so that it stays up to date, and also make sure that you're handling deleted or merged deals properly inside of HubSpot. Those are all problems that I found when I was trying to solve this. I've gone through a handful of different connectors, and then recently I tried to go with ChatGPT to solve this problem, and it is absolutely fantastic. Literally, all you need to make this work is a HubSpot account, a Google account, and then ChatGPT to refine the code that I'm going to show you. This does involve coding, but the good news is that if you're a vibe coder or you've ever heard of that, you can use AI to refine the code and make this work. But I'm going to include all of the scripts that I used, and I'll include a link in the description down below so you can take this and make it work for yourself. And the best part is this is 100% free. You can customize it exactly how you want. You can choose how frequently you want things to update and refresh, and it will keep everything up to date. So first thing is, this is the reason why I'm creating this video is because I used to use a tool that was called Integration Fox. It was great, very inexpensive. And then about a week ago, it literally just stopped working. So I have all these clients that were relying on Integration Fox and it stopped. So I was like, all right, I'm going to figure out a new way. I tried to reach out to their support because I didn't really want to go down this path. But now that I have, I'm actually super excited that we did this when we did, because this is actually 10 times easier than before. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I used to have this very complex way of importing data and whatnot. Now I'm just going to go straight into my reporting page here. So if you can see, I have a number of different reports and stuff that I generate. So I love breaking down data like this and showing what our leads were. This is what ultimately I want to create for clients. And HubSpot has reporting, it's great, but there's certain things like close rate and just certain reports that are easier to create inside of Google Sheets, which is why I like doing this. So this particular client, their data sync has been broken for the last week. And so now we're going to reset all this up to solve their problem, quickly and efficiently. So let's go. And this is the sheet that I'm going to be importing the data to. In my script that we're going to implement, we're going to go to Google Apps Script. I guess I should say, for those of you following along, just go to a brand new Google Sheet if you want to. And this sheet is going to be the one that I'm importing. In this one, I'm going to open up App Script. And then all you need to do here is copy and paste the code that I have put into ChatGPT for you. All right. So if you open up the link that I'm going to put down below to this ChatGPT thread, you could copy this and this top code here if you want, or you could go back and forth with AI several times to modify the script to your liking. I'm just going to copy this because I know it works, and we're going to put it straight into my project here. Okay, so here's the script. I just pasted in here. If you look for the word enter, you're going to see enter spreadsheet ID. So this is one place you're going to enter the ID, and let's go get the spreadsheet ID. So here's my ID, and if you haven't done this with Google Sheets before, it's the part of the URL between this the slash and then the slash edit. So I'm going to copy that, paste it into here, and then once you have that, so that's the first enter. And then we have the API key. And to get the API key, you're going to go into your HubSpot account. So I'm going to navigate to this client's HubSpot. And we'll go into the settings. And then you're going to go to integrations, private apps. And you want to make a new private app. So you create a private app. We're going to call this HubSpot Google Sheet Sync, Data Sync. And the scopes that are needed on this are basically CRM, read, most of the read ones. We don't have to actually write anything. So CRM, objects, I guess depending on what it is you're wanting to export, I just need the deals. So I'm going to do deals.read. And actually, sorry, I forgot. We do need a couple other things as well in order to look up, because by default, when it exports the data from HubSpot for the deals, the deal stage and the deal owner is just output as a number. So you do need access to the owner as well in order to get that to be able to display who the owner is as their name instead of their user ID. Okay, so you need CRM export. You need objects, companies, CRM objects, companies read, contacts, deals, owners.read, and orders. CRM objects or pipelines, orders read. And that is it. So if you click update and then go ahead and click, there's one more thing we're going to set up right now, and that is a webhook. And we're going to do a simple webhook. We're going to come back to put in the URL later, but we're going to do script.google.com/macros. And then there's a specific URL that I'm going to show you that we're going to come back and put into here. So I'm just going to create that app, continue creating, and it's going to give me a token right here. I'm going to go ahead and hide this on my screen for just a moment while I copy this, but that you're going to do the same thing. So give me one sec. So I'm going to take that token and paste in the API key here. Then right here, or on the next section here, this is where you just need to decide what are all of the header rows that you want to put the data into. So depending upon what data you're wanting to get for deals, you could change those fields there. And then you also need the HubSpot internal property name. So for example, estimate date. If you look at inside of the account here, if I'm looking for, I'm going to go to properties. When you're in deals, if I were to go try to see what the name of this was, I have estimate date. And when I look at it, the internal name is estimate_date. So I already know that these are correct. This particular client that I'm doing this for, they don't actually have a bid sent date that they're using, so we're going to hide that one. We have estimate date, deal stage, pipeline, scheduled by, all that stuff is the same. Let's go double check. Scheduled by, and that again, yep, just scheduled by, so we're good there. Make sure everything else looks good or the way that you want it. I think I might actually take out the paid search ads lead. I don't think that they use that. And the rest of those I think are pretty standard properties there. And then because I'm taking out those fields there, I can take them out here as well. And I'm going to take out that one. Okay. Then you want to make sure that the sheet that you're getting, I'm just calling it HS_raw. That's where I'm going to be writing the data. So let's go ahead and change the Google Sheet to say HS_raw. And then yeah, the rest of that looks good. Oh, down here, this is where you can build the order that you want everything to be exported at, like in your Google Sheet. So this is the row that it's going to be putting in there. And in this case, I do have a very particular order that I need this to be output. And that's just so I don't have to redo a bunch of stuff inside of here. So if I copy this I'm going to actually go to ChatGPT and say, can you please rewrite this part of the code with this order of columns from Google Sheets. So that's the order of the things that I want. And then I'm going to have them take this, paste it in here. So I'm just telling ChatGPT, this is the order. I want them to redo the order with this. So we're doing that. And while it's doing that, I'm realizing that even though the client does not use the paid search, they do have it. So I think I'm actually going to keep that one. So I'm going to go back into what I just deleted here and add it back in. So paid search, and they don't have bid sent. So I'm going to take that one out. All right, let's see if ChatGPT got that rewritten for me. And that's awesome. Variable row, copy. And let's go put it back in here. All right, so after you have done that and we've turned on the script there, now we can go ahead, and the first thing you want to do is reset last update. So this would be the first time that you run it. You're going to run this function, and we're going to just click run and see what happens. We got to review some permissions here. Give permission for the script to actually run. And this first time that it runs, you can see there's a ton of information that it's going to be pulling in. And if we go look at the HS raw sheet, yeah, it's just bringing in a lot of data. So depending on how many records you have, this could take quite a bit of time. In this case, I believe this client has, let's see if we can find that. So they have 17,000 records. I don't remember what the cutoff time is for this, but it will start, as you can see, it's just dumping in more and more and more. So we're at 1,000. So however long that was, we got to wait another maybe 8 minutes for this to finish. And it looks like, did it stop? Let's see what's going on. No, it's still going. Now it's at 12,000. So this first import can take a while. One thing that I am noticing is that up at the top here, it is none of the titles came in. So you'd have to put those titles in yourself, it looks like. I'm going to wait until this finishes running before I copy and paste these titles over. But the good thing is that it looks like, it's working just like we would want. So that's good. And we'll just let this run. So I'm going to pause the video for a minute while it continues to process the records there. And it says, incremental deals process 1266. Oh, I know why. So it's only, this is a good point here. So it's asking what's the date that you want to go back to. And I did, I forgot that this was 2025 3/1. So this is all the deals that were modified since then. So in this case, because we have deals back for 2 or 3 years, I'm going to go ahead and just put 2022. So this is a key thing that you're going to want to change is this is how far back in your HubSpot data do you want to go extract data and dump into this sheet? So we're going to go all the way back to 2022, and I'm going to do 0101. So January 1st, 2022 is what we're going to use for pulling any deals that were edited between now and then. And I'm going to save it, and then we're going to run again. And so now it's going to be adding a bunch more. And once this is done running, the way that you're going to know that it's the right number and everything's correct is because you should end up with the exact same number of rows as you have data in your HubSpot. So in this case, when I go to all pipelines with no filters, I have 17,305. So that's the exact number of records that I should have when this is done. While that's running, because it's going to take a while to do that, the next thing that needs to get set up is you need to create the webhook to send the data back to HubSpot. So, or when a deal is deleted or merged, there's a specific webhook trigger that we have created in the private app. So if you go to here, so this first thing that we just did, this will handle getting all of your deals in, but we have not solved the what if I merge or delete a deal, and that's what I want to solve next. So that process is you go up to here and click the private apps. And then in this Google Sheet sync here, I have a webhook and I need to create a subscription. So I'm going to create a subscription right now. The object is going to be deal. And then the events is deleted or merged. So those are I want this webhook to fire anytime that a deal is deleted or merged. So I'm going to subscribe to this. And then the webhook that I need to put here, I'm going to get out of Google Sheets. And you get that by actually saving and deploying this. So I'm going to call this DMP HubSpot Google Sheets data sync. So I'm going to rename this file, and then I actually have to deploy this. So I'm going to click New Deployment. And this is publishing this as a web app. And so I'm going to have this be published as a web app. And the name here can just be HubSpot to Google Sheets Data Sync. And I'm going to execute this as myself. And who can access this? You have to do anyone, make sure that anyone can access. And then we're going to click deploy. Once we deploy that, it's going to give us a URL. So it's a web app URL. We're going to copy this. And then that URL is what we paste into the HubSpot here. So commit changes. Let's go back and look, hit done. And this execution from before is still running. So we're going to just keep pumping out records, which is great. Let's check in on its progress. All right. So the script had stopped several times on the import. So there's a couple things that I learned that I want to share with you. First is when you are reorganizing the columns here. So we have a section. Where's it at? Right here. You need to make sure that deal ID is always in column 1. So that was a mistake that I made earlier in the video. If you don't have deal ID in column 1, all of the deduplicating and upserting and all that will not work. So make sure you do that. Second thing is what I did, because of just having so much data, it looks like if you have under 10,000 records, this script handles it pretty fine. But because there were so many, it was kind of cumbersome and it kept stalling out. So what I did to initiate and get the latest data was I just went into HubSpot and I created a report on the deals page, and I just exported the same exact columns. So I went through my Google Sheet and I added in wherever that is. So I went column by column. I did the create date, the estimate date, the close date, the deal name, etc. And then I pasted that data in here. And then once I had that data in here, then I was able to just worry about updating the records moving forward. So now I tested it and it is working for all future ones. And the reason the script works really well after you get it set up is because it goes by last modified. So you can set the script to refresh, which I'll show you in just a second, to refresh every minute or every hour or every day or whatever cadence you want. There are some limitations, I believe, on HubSpot or Google Sheets API rate limits, but for the most part, it's pretty flexible. I do every hour because it seems like overkill to do it more than that. But yeah, so what was I going to say about that? Oh, so just pull the initial, if it's more than 10,000 records, I would recommend just doing an export to get it started. Make sure you have the deal ID in the first column. And then the last piece here is the triggers. And I didn't cover this. The trigger that you want to create is going to be for the fetch incremental deal data. That's the function you want to run. And we're going to run this from the spreadsheet, but we're going to do it, not from the spreadsheet. We're going to do time driven. And this is going to be an hour timer. And every hour it's going to run. So I'm going to say notify me daily. If it fails, go ahead and hit save. And that will be that's the trigger that's going to run on its own every hour now. So now every hour it will run. If you were to change this to every minute, it's going to change or just import anything that has been modified in the last minute. So if you do a whole bunch of modifications within that, then there'll be a bunch of deals. But generally, I would say every hour seems like a good enough refresh rate for most of my clients. So that's what I've gone with there. Other than that, good luck. And let me know if you have any other questions down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Chris with Boolean Automation. We work with painting companies to eliminate data entry and maximize their reporting. This process that I'm showing you here is something that we just recently started rolling out for our clients, and it's nice because it's inexpensive and it allows for much more customized reporting inside of Google Sheets. That just, there's things that HubSpot reports are great at, but there's other things that are just really nice to have in Google Sheets so you can manipulate the data the way that you want. If you would like to do a discovery call with our team, there's a link down below to do that. Again, we only work with painting companies. So if you're in another industry, you can continue to use all the videos on our channel, but painting companies is our focus, and we are very, very good at that. And we'd love to chat and see if we can help you out. Thanks so much for watching.